Yes! Here we go!
All right. Hey, before we jump into today's show topics, let's start the show with the usual remarkable story I came across on Reddit. This story, KR, has something to do with the scam artist we're going to talk about in a bit.
Alleged
And
scam artist. Alleged scam artist. Let's not start putting ourselves in a lawsuit now.
okay, well, alleged scam artist. And this is the Reddit story. This is the caption of the Reddit story. Is this a scam? Guys, let us know in the comment section below. Please answer. And the story goes as follows. I'm not sure if I'm at the right place to post this. Usually, when you're on Reddit, you're not, but okay. But here I go. I was recently applying to jobs and happened to get contacted from a service now position. A man named Matthew Joyner had sent me a message saying he'd seen my resume and application and would like me to contact HR manager Kristen Yarbrough. It seemed appealing because I'd be able to work online. The pay was set to be $19 for the training, so $19 per hour for the training, and $31 per hour for the real deal. So the real deal, I'm guessing, is a real job. The position I was applying for was the client services. I did the interview, but was a bit suspicious because it was done in Microsoft Teams and we never called. We simply texted.
No face, no trace.
No face. That's why some people who are unfaithful put garbage bags on. Anyway, so I oh man, such stuff. Sorry guys, that wasn't. I swear I'm better than this. So I complete. So I completed the elaborate interview,
Feeling
and
my
she
life.
told me I'd been hired. 30 minutes later. 30 minutes later, I was a bit suspicious, but desperate for a
Mm.
job. She then sent me a startup check for $950, which is currently on hold until November 1st. The check was from a construction company, Northwinds Construction Inc., from Houston, Texas. But this check made me less suspicious of them. Note, I have not given any important information over to them, such as bank information, SSN, etc., nor have they asked for any of that. End quote. I told the HR that the check would not be funded until the 1st. She said it'd be fine and asked if I'd be able to pay $450 for materials. I would get reimbursed when the check gets processed. She also mentioned getting a free MacBook Pro free of charge. I didn't have the money, so I asked my parents to lend me $500 and I paid them back later when the check was made available. I deposited the money and told her I was ready for the next step. She said, and I quote, now go to a local Target or Walmart and buy $500 of American Express gift card. I asked if it'd be okay if I use the funds from my own bank account instead. She insisted, however, that I would need the American Express card to pay for the time tracking software. She also requested I send her a picture of the front and back of the card and send it to her. I'm a bit hesitant to reply at this point. I just want to know if this is a scam or not, and if it's safe to carry on. Your answer is much appreciated. P.S. I live in Los Angeles, if that helps.
Well,
KR, is this a scam or not?
I mean, already halfway. I knew this was a scam. Uh, so in the beginning, he said something, and I'll say this: there are two reasons why people fall from scams in general. Either they need the money real, For real, for real. And he said that in his, I think it's either the third or fourth line you read
Yeah, he's
at the
really
beginning.
looking for a job. He has been looking for a job.
Yes, he has been looking. So people, it's really needing the money or
Mhm.
getting used to or being used to take shortcuts. That's when how people scam you a lot of times.
Quick
Like
money.
quick, get rich quick schemes. If that's your mindset, they'll figure it out real quick, scammers, and then they'll angle you to buy into the scam. But hey, this is a clear scamming. Come on, it's clear. You have to pay for materials. So how?
Without ever getting the check.
Not only that. So
What
so this is the idea, right? You're hiring me. You should be able to have. So this is um the mindset. You're a company. You buy licenses. So why am I the one paying for the license that you are buying? You should already have the license in place, or at least are going to buy it as soon as you hire me. Why should I
yeah.
put up the money first? This is so you're already buying into probably an insolvent company. But maybe I'm looking too deep into it. But the second part is she's telling you to go onto to get a credit card and to send them. How does that work?
The gift card. The gift card.
A
So
gift
there
card.
is a limit. There is a limit though.
What
They
are
can
we
only
doing?
scam. They can only scam. So basically, they were going. Yo, KR.
What are we doing? What are
Yo,
we doing?
KR. I didn't do the math. W- The material costed. The material costs $450.
Yeah,
The gift card
it's
was
500.
$500. How
Yeah,
much is that? The
900. Yeah.
same 950. That's big.
Whoa! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yo.
Hey, and it's a low amount. It's a low amount, just
Mhm.
enough to if you do that a couple of times with a couple of people that are desperate enough, you'll get some good paper out of that.
Yeah.
This is- I know. Do you do diligence? This is the thing, right? As soon as
Yeah, but KR, it's
it's a
what I
gut. Maybe you can tell more about the gut part, but it's just when you have that gut feeling.
I remember watching the girl with a dragon tattoo. It's a movie,
Mm,
not a real girl. And in that movie, the protagonist is a writer and he gets hired by a rich man to go on his, or at least a property that belongs to the rich man,
mhm,
uh, well, like an ancestor, but only family members live there.
mm,
And he's hired. Actually, the story is that, so the story that was told was that he was hired to write a biography, but the real reason why they hired him was because he was a like investigative journalist, and the person who hired the protagonist wanted him to find out who kidnapped or
mm,
unalived his granddaughter or a niece or something, a family member.
mm,
And so when he got to the island, the writer was just, investigating, snooping around, asking people questions. And there came a point where he was snooping around a one of the, let's say, lead suspects. And when he was at his house or cabin on that island, he saw something that made him realize that he was the one who had something to do with the disappearance of the victim. And so he found out, it was like late at night, and right where he was at the point of going away, because I think he heard him move inside the house or something, so he started trying to escape. The guy opened the door. He said, "Hey, you're here. Why don't you come in? Why don't you come on in?" And you could see the guy like really considering whether he should or shouldn't, but then he did it anyway. Shortly
Mm.
thereafter, the guy pulled a firearm on him, and basically, that's not where it ends, but like a dialogue starts. And this is the reason why I'm telling this story, because a dialogue starts, and the man tells the protagonist, "You knew that I was the one who had something to do with her disappearance. Yet, when I told you to come on in, you had the opportunity to walk away but didn't. You chose to come on in, knowing that I was the one." You know why people do it? Because people are more afraid of being impolite than being, let's say, doing what they believe is the right thing. The guy could have just ran away, but decided to step in the house just to be polite. And what I think, KR, is in a situation like this, I mean, when you look at the story, right? The girl or the guy who's telling the story is saying, "Hey, I have all these red flags here, but still, I don't want to let me know if I should continue, yes or no, while your gut is already telling you." And that's probably because the person already invested. He already invested, he did a training, or at least not a training, he did an interview, and then he did a test, and he saw the 950, and it's always like, "Yeah, we're almost there. Just do this. We're almost there. Just do that." I have applied at a place once where they told me that I should buy some materials. The difference was that those were my materials that I bought. In this case, it was they were like safety shoes. Of course, I buy them. I don't buy it from them. I buy it somewhere. Buy them somewhere else, and they're mine. So after the job, they're mine. That's something different. But how can I be paying you, my employer, for material? That's something that you should provide to me, because when the job is done, I need to give them back.
Yeah.
So yeah, in any
What
case,
you described is the sunk cost fallacy,
the
where
sun
sunk
sunk
cost
cost
fallacy.
fallacy.
Yeah, basically when you invest too much, you're like, you know where people also do this when they're dating.
Where
That's also.
when they're dating, man, come on.
They,
Hey
they,
guys, they do, they
they
do,
do. They do
they,
though.
they
This is the
do.
thing. You go to the first 3 dates and then you're like, I need to put something in because I need to pull something out. Pause. Anyway, I don't know whatever you do, whatever you do.
I think that needing to put something in is from before the
Wow.
first date. It's
Well, let's not. If you need to put something in, you might also get a restraining order after, and it might be you might be joining the felons.
you might need to be put under the jail.
Yeah.
Hey guys, oh man! And by the way, the top reaction of the story I just told is just one word: run. Yeah. Hey guys, welcome to another edition of the Double Thought Show, where we discuss trending topics and try to explore uncommon lessons from commonplace situations. In today's show, we'll be talking about the Tulsa real estate fund sinking like Ocean Gate, I would say imploding, and we're going to talk about the walls closing in on City Girl Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Last but not least, of course, our speed topics, where we talk about various random but funny and noteworthy short topics in the short thought segment. Let's jump right into the first topic. And before we jump into the first topic, which is the Tulsa real estate fund sinking like Ocean Gate, remember to rate the show by pressing the like button, follow us on our socials, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hit the notification bell. KR?
Yes, let's start right away, man. The Tulsa Real Estate Fund that was initiated by Jay Morrison. So the idea behind it is that it would revitalize and empower Black communities to through strategic real estate investments. That's the idea. He had a nice pitch, did his tours around various social media platforms and was able to raise about 12 million, 11.7 million dollars. One of the key things he bought after raising the money is what is called the Black House or the Legacy Center, which is a property um, sprawling 31,000 square feet flex industrial asset that's located in Atlanta, East Point, GA. It has a 20 square feet dedicated for production and event space, and an additional 10,000 square feet for modern office facility, which is quite impressive.
It's pretty impressive. It's pretty big. Yeah.
It's pretty big. It's pretty big. However, important important part of this is that you have buyers, or not buyers, let's call it this way, people that want to go sit there. If you're running commercial real estate, that's the important part. Because I mean,
You need customers.
you need customers. You need people who will pay for the unit so you can collect the rent.
That would be ideal for any business.
That's how people usually don't think, though. They buy it first and then try to figure out the business plan later. Anyway, well, you're laughing, but that's a sad truth.
It is.
And by the way, did you hear? Do you know about the story, Oshae?
Yeah, I know about it. It's been going on for a while now.
Yeah, he's been.
It's been going on for a while now. I came across this story through what's his name? Tony the Closer.
Yeah,
Tony was
Tony-
going in.
Yo, Tony, shout out to Tony, by the way. Tony stays on scammers' necks. Wanna say,
Yeah.
I won't say like who, because
Yo.
but Tony stays on their neck with the knee on it. Shout
Yeah.
out to Tony.
Uh,
Tony, so shout out to Tony. Pocket watching with JT. Shout out to him. I mean, these guys are putting
Yeah. And
News
pocket
on-
watch. And pocket watching comes with the receipts. Pocket watching comes with, I think he's a
it's underrated.
yeah, but he's an accountant, right? He's
Yes, he's
a
a financial advisor.
financial advisor, yeah. But he
And-
comes
and
with
not-
the
not-
receipt.
and not like these social media advisors, financial advisors. The man has a company, and he tells you, and he's you're laughing. Most of these people are financial advisors on the gram, and then when they shut off the gram, they're scammers. Shout out to Pocket Watching. I like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
show. Well,
Yeah,
maybe
me
we'll
too.
show a couple of videos on him about this topic.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so basically, 2 weeks ago, it was revealed that the fund might be liquidated.
Mm.
Yes, because the Black House. That's what you're laughing. That's how it's called. The Legacy Center was put back on the market. But before it was put back on the market, guess what happened?
What?
They refinanced the building.
Wait. Is it still wait, is it
Jay refinanced the building.
who?
Jay Morrison.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was my question. So Jay refinanced.
The building before he put it back on the market.
So are you gonna buy with that?
No, what he did was he refinanced it and then withdraw 1.5 million to cover management fees. So I've been following this whole Tulsa real estate fund stuff for a while now. Haven't really
Did you I
Probably.
forget. Sorry, man. Sorry that I'm interrupting you. Did you tell me that he was your cousin on your mom's side or your father's side? I forget every time.
well, none of the None of them, actually.
None of the above.
None of them. None of them. Thank God. Otherwise, I would have probably changed my name. Now, but all jokes aside, the guy has been moving very, very weird. So there are a lot of things that went sideways. He bought property, then put them on his name. So he bought property with the funds, for what I understand, for what I understand from all over the place on the internet. He bought property with the fund of the so with the Tulsa fund, but put the property on his name, so it can be. So it's
So
all his.
the fund,
The fund was used as
the
a
fund
private
that
bank.
raised, yeah, the fund that raised the money. So the money that was raised through the fund was used by Jay to purchase properties for himself, and he put it not in the name of the fund, but in his own name.
Yes, allegedly. So that's what I understand. I haven't seen the papers,
I haven't
but it
talked to
seems
him.
like, well, I haven't talked to him. I mean, he's a he's a cousin, but I don't talk to cousins
He's not.
that stay that
He's
stay
not a
around.
brother. He's a cousin.
Well, brothers, you know how I think about people calling me brother, but I'm not your brother, bro. Who do you think I am? Don't try to include me in your BS. Anyway, no, but there are a lot of weird things. So he was taking management fees, withdrawing management fees continuously. It was basically a private bank for him.
Yeah.
But I won't tell the whole story. I'll let one of the main investors tell the story. Shout out to Julian Gordon. He's been one of the main investors in multiple black
Black-owned businesses.
owned businesses. Yes. Let's take a look what he had to say, because he went live 2 weeks ago and started sharing a couple of things about this whole situation.
It's bitter
Can you hear it?
irony that the Tulsa Real Estate Fund,
Fair use.
named after the tragic destruction of Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, by a white mob, has been burned down from within by a Black man who exploited the legacy and the resilience of our ancestors for his own personal gain. This is a painful reminder that we must remain vigilant in protecting our communities from those who seek to take advantage of our trust and aspirations. Unfortunately, all skin folk are not kinfolk. To the investors who may be experiencing feelings of shame or embarrassment, I want to assure you that you are not alone.
All skin folk are not kinfolk. And that is where a lot of people got this investment game twisted. You're on mute.
Don't forget what Cat Williams said as well, right?
What did he say?
Race is not where you draw the line.
Oh, I thought you said
But let him go on the line, boy.
I thought you was going to say all BD deviants are going down into that. No, I guess it's the other one. That's the other show. That's another show. That's Diddy.
That's a Diddy show. No,
Yeah.
that's what he said. I don't, not, what is it? Not all skin folk. Not all skin folks are kin folks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, and that's true. And I think you have. I mean, I'm gonna let you say it, because you always talk about you. I mean, you always rant about people trying to convince you to invest in their in their companies or projects by.
Hey, don't put my business out there. I still live in my mama's basement, my dude. Come on.
No, but you say it, right. It's like, hey, this is a the first black owned
Yeah,
community. You have strong feelings about that.
I have pretty strong feelings about that. So I don't like when people. So this is the thing, right? I think you started the show talking about scamming, and when people scam, there are patterns that they continue. They emulate each other. Scammers look at each other and then they emulate their way of doing it. So what is always like, my alarm bells go off when they start putting sentiment into the pitch. So that's me. So what if
Sentiment in general.
in general, like let's do this for the community, let's do this for so this is an investment. We're talking about investment here. Let's not
Talk-
talk about
Talking about
sentimental
money.
stuff. Talking about money. How are we going to make money? Don't come talk to me about community. I'm doing this for the community. That is when my alarm bells go off. That's a red flag number one. So what it to me, and a lot of people emulated this format that Jay Morrison, because he was one of the first ones who brought this way of working out there in the internet streets. And a lot of people emulated after. I mean, we all know about him 500. Don't know if you heard of him. His stuff that also look very yanky. Well, okay. So what they do is they put the sentiment part into it. So we're building a community. Tulsa, use the word Tulsa. He misused the word Tulsa, which reminds of the Black Wall Street. And then he turns around and tells you, we're gonna buy the Black House. It's a great pitch.
Yeah, it's like because some people say that the White House should be called the Black House on account that it's been built by black slaves. And so you would think the Black House has something to do with that,
Trying
right?
to
So you,
bait me into say something weird, crazy right here. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. I got you figured out. You're trying to put me out here to say something weird, and so people start calling me Tether.
oh man.
Anyway, continue.
But yeah, so it's like as you said, misusing the so playing on people's emotion, misusing people's strong feelings relating to race, relating to community.
Yeah.
And it's just like the Black Lives Matter, right? It's just like Black Lives Matter.
Another scam. Well,
There-
not
yeah, so
people-
there are two things, and that's what they do, right? Scammers. So
they put
or at
everything.
least or at least this way of scamming, because you have one, so you have the Black Lives Matter organization, and you have the Black Lives Matter statement. And when you attack the organization says, but you're hating because you don't believe that Black Lives Matter. But those are two separate things. It's just like me. No, I have a better example. It's just like a rapper, yeah, calling himself Love. And if this person happens to be involved in alleged scandalous act, and you attack him, and you're saying, and he responding by saying, you're attacking me, that means you don't believe in love. That's what Diddy is saying right now, actually. So it's the same
Really?
thing. It's the same thing, right? When you're integrating it, and what Morrison did in his case was integrating the Tulsa, Black Wall Street with his
Unity.
with his project. I want to build a community. I want to build unity, invest in black businesses. And of course, there are a lot of people who want to invest in black businesses. And so, but the rule isn't first black, then it needs to be good. It needs to be good first.
Yeah.
And then if you need to, for example, find 6 good companies first. And if you're going to invest in one, and there are like 2 black owned, and you have like a principle to invest in black owned, then you can invest. But first you need to make sure that it's a good business. And not some people, I think amateurs invest because it's a black business first before really doing their proper due diligence.
Yeah. So the question is then, did people see the collapse coming? Yeah, some people already did. Some people did. So let me show you a video of Pocket Watcher with JT. Real quick. A short video. where he's explaining the background of Jay Morrison. Shout out to Pocket Watching. Fair use. Go subscribe to his channel if you want to keep on to scammers. You keep your tabs on scammers.
Not be a shock to anyone, to be honest. I'm sure Dr. Boyce Watkins, the PhD in finance, he may be shocked by this because I guess looking at financial statements of a business that you invested in is a little too much work for him to do.
Shots fired.
Yeah,
Shots fired. Shots fired. We're going to talk about Boyce later on, but Boyce is acting wild out here.
He's too busy to actually look at the financial statements of a business that he promoted and he invested in. But if you were actually looking at the financial statements, something that a financial advisor actually does, if you look at the financial,
any investor that is interested in how the investment is doing, because that is what you should do. You should always do your due diligence, and also you should keep track of your investment. That's the first thing. The first two things you always have to do.
Yeah.
People invest and then forget. That's not how it works. Definitely with smaller investment like this. I mean, if you're doing 10,000 investment on the stock market, that might not be feasible. I wouldn't advise to do 10,000 stocks, by the way, in different companies. But okay, that's another thing.
What do you know? You're not a.
I'm not a professional. I'm broke in my mama's basement as usual, guys. I don't know nothing. I don't know. Don't follow me. Follow me. Hail Mary, come with me.
have known
Didn't
Not-
expect.
yesterday, not 6 months ago, not
La, la, la.
years ago, but on year one, you can look
Listen
at
to
the
this. Listen
financial
to this.
statements
Fair use.
and the documents that founded the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. You would have known that today, this day, was coming. That there was almost no other outcome when it comes to the Tulsa Real Estate Fund other than liquidation. Either liquidation voluntarily or being forced to liquidate
Bankruptcy.
through bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Either or. That's really was the only route when you look at what the hell was going on. So let's just make sure we're looking at the scoreboard together. Let's be clear. We have a man who openly admits to be a high school dropout, to be a
How did you start the show? Red flag number one. You're on mute, by the way. But
Yeah. Red flag number one.
Red flag number one.
three-time felon,
Red flag number two.
a man who claims that he sold crack cocaine to his own father.
Red flag number three.
That's
A man who there has been claims long before the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, but claims from old business partners that he had unethical practices and that he cheated his old business partners out of money, all before the Tulsa Real Estate Fund.
Red flag number four.
This man then starts
wait.
the fund.
Wait. I didn't expect him to say the word man. This man. Just because the tone, he said man, but the tone in his tone, I could hear a different word.
No, by the way, this guy
No.
has more red flags than the communist parade.
Just play that part once more. Just
I was playing it back. Just
this man right here.
He almost said he was Japanese. Danger.
Unethical practices and that he cheated his old business partners out of money, all before the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. This man then starts the fund. When he starts the fund, he's currently in personal Chapter 7 bankruptcy.
Wow.
I just want to be clear.
We're all at 4. We are at 5 now, right?
I stopped counting.
It's more red flags than a communist parade.
Well, yeah. Yeah,
He's-
well, so first of all,
yeah, okay, thank you.
so first of all, people can change.
well,
Let's just start. Wait, let's just start there. People, no, I'm just saying. People can change. So I just want to say what the reason why, and
you really
the
change them?
yeah, the reason why I say it is because I believe people can change.
Mm.
However, the more red flags, the more you need to prove. So to me, if you've been, for example, if you dealt crack cocaine in the past, that's one thing. I mean, you can do that, go to jail. 6 years later, you start a business. Doesn't need to be like that. 3 times a felon, I don't know what for. They probably, I don't know what's for, but you can be a felon for something else, for example, and you can change. So that's not the point. But to me, it's the biggest red flag of them all is the business partner saying he did them wrong.
Yeah.
Scammed them, yeah. Because that's what we're talking about, man. So what type of scam? What was the reason?
Yeah.
What was the reason for him being incarcerated 3 times? If it was the same practice, that I would agree with you. I wouldn't have invested. Because even though people can change, it's 2 things that you need to watch. You look at just for due diligence sake. The first one is the frequency, and the second one is the gravity. So it can be that something that the person did scamming 3 times, so the frequency is pretty high, but it can be that, so you need to see the gravity. If each time the scam was for 10 guilders, for example, and if you go look at his personal situation, he was doing drugs and he needed it to pay for, he was a fiend or something, it's something different. But if you're talking about hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions, yeah, then to me, that's definitely a red flag. So it all depends on what it is. But one thing is for certain. So the biggest red flag to me is that one. The second red flag to me is, for me, is, so in the sense of gravity, is him being involved in a bankruptcy procedure while starting a company or a fund.
A fund, yeah.
Because if you're bankrupt personally, then that means you know how to deal with money.
Yeah.
It's not like he turned it around. And what did you say a couple of moments ago? He used assets, well, in this case, mostly money from the fund to finance personal purchases.
Call them management fees, whatever you wanted. You're charging management fee and the fund ain't doing nothing. Ain't buying no assets, nothing, bro. But you're charging management fees. What work are you doing?
It takes a lot of work to remember what you lied about. I think you're really underestimating that. So
going back to what you said, people change. I have a rule of thumb. I think I've mentioned it in the previous show about Cesar Pina. I don't know if you recall. Always say the following. It's one thing being that you're a physical criminal, meaning you are robbing stuff. A different level of criminal is I call it mental criminality, manipulation, which is scamming. I believe people change, but I have a very hard time believing that scammers turn their ways because it's a mental thing. It's a manipulation thing. Manipulation, you don't unlearn it real easily. You just adapt.
Yeah, and
But that's my personal. I'm not putting it on you or on anyone. That's my personal filter.
yeah, I mean, I agree with that to a certain extent. I understand what you're saying. Um, I'm saying theoretically people can change, but whether I would
What is
invest,
lawyer are you? He
I'm
starts
just saying, man.
with a big statement and then he says theoretically. So theoretically, it's come on, man.
No, but theoretically, I believe people can change. But
Mm.
what I'm saying is that's why I also said that I wouldn't invest as fast in someone like that. You would need to prove a lot more than
Yeah.
someone who sold crack cocaine, for example. Because scamming, when you're scamming someone, you know mentally that you have a type of control over that person. You
Mhm.
have, and that also tells me that you can't restrict yourself. So I understand. I'm saying I understand what you're saying. That's why it's important for me to know why he was incarcerated, and if it was scamming, then shame on you, on everyone who invested in him,
Yeah, guys.
knowing.
So yes, it's a shame, and I think I don't want to blame the people that invested. One thing I'll say is this, and I don't want to sound like this time I don't want to sound like a victim blame. I try to change my ways. It's very hard, guys. It's very hard. Just like a scammer, it's very hard to change your ways. I'm not saying that I'm a scammer, but I'm a victim blamer, habitual victim blamer. Always have been and always will be. I think. I think. But one thing you always have to do when you're trying, and I think this is the biggest problem with these kind of projects. I call them the FUBU projects, the for us by us projects. You have to do due diligence. You can't oh my god, you can't invest in anything without due diligence and believing the guy on his look at this guy. I'm not gonna play this, by the way, but look at his face. Come on, man. Come on. You cannot believe it based on face value. Not saying that he has a face of a scammer. Not saying that. But it's not because someone is wearing a suit, you should believe him. It's not because someone is transparent about their past, you should believe him. Because I think that's another problem. You see that with he started basically a whole genre of scammers, basically that incorporate the FUBU, like the FUBU projects. Let's call it the FUBU project type of scamming, where they incorporate different aspects to manipulate people. What he also did is before he got locked up, he scammed people out of he sold property and didn't pay people the money. It's a mess. So it's not like he's doing it today. So right now they're going to sell that black house or the legacy center. It's on the market for 3.7 million, I think. And after refinancing, I don't know how much debt the fund has, but I think people won't get their money back. Please do your due diligence, man. Do your due diligence of the fund, and this is the important stuff because what what's his name again? The main investor, Julian Gordon. What Julian Gordon said, he believed in the vision, but you shouldn't invest based on the vision. So I'll break down real quick how big investors invest in general when it comes to startups. They don't only look at the vision of the company or the idea. They look at the team. Is this team good enough to, if I invest 50 million, if the idea doesn't work, whether they can turn it around and make it work or make something else work? A lot of times when you do startups, the initial idea pivots to another idea. Can they pivot? Are they smart enough to figure it out? That's what you're dealing with. Based on that alone, that should have scared you off from investing in this. Because you know how the team looked like?
How?
CEO, Jay Morrison. CTO, Jay Morrison. COO, Jay Morrison. It was like he had like three.
Oh, you're serious? So it was really like officially his name?
Yeah, let me-
Yo.
I'll try
So-
to find. I'll try to find it. I don't think
Okay,
I don't
now
have it there.
now,
don't have
now
it
I
there.
understand. Now I understand the management fees. Then he
Yeah.
can then he can
Bro,
he,
I'm
he can get
telling
paid
you.
for all of them.
And his wife was and also was one of the people that was involved in those roles. So there is no team. You're investing in him.
The wife is. I'm just looking at it now. She's. I've seen her on Country Wing.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
she's a
I
really
guess
good.
you won't see her
She's,
if she gets locked up. You won't see her after.
she's also on a podcast. I think I've sent you a link on it.
Okay.
She's well. Let me put it like this. She's a very great. No, no, I'm not. I want to give her a real compliment, but I know I don't want you to turn it around. I always say give credit where credit is due. She's a
Okay.
very great actress. Extremely. Oh, come on, man. Come on.
Well,
Come on.
one can also say Jim Morrison is a very incredible actress. He should get an Oscar.
Yeah, but
Alright.
I really mean what I'm. So this is I
You
really
mean
mean.
what
So
you said. You didn't want to
yeah,
say
yeah.
it because you know I would take this and run with it.
So
Anyway.
I started saying it, and then I remember who I was saying it to, and I was like, nah, this guy's gonna twist it around.
Hey,
But
power couple. Acting power couple.
I remember her also saying on one of the podcast episodes that forgot who they were interviewing because they were three people first.
Mm.
Three people, and I watch me some Country Wayne, so
Yeah,
I do.
you
I have
watch
to say,
it.
it's a bit difficult to keep up because of my work and doing this podcast, and
Something that Jay doesn't know how to do, but okay.
no, it's really a lot. But they started it with three people first, three female, and then one of them now has her own podcast.
Mm.
What's her name? Sarah has her own podcast, and then you have Ernestine, which is Jay's wife, I believe, and Amber. They have like they have the podcast there, and they have great people there. But I digress. The reason why I was started talking about it was because I think when they were three, they interviewed someone, and Ernestine said, "A man needs to provide, and my man provides for us." So I do. So I do, and I didn't know who they were. Literally just found out that they were let's say their spouses, but
Yeah.
she was really sounded really proud of him. So if this turns out to be a scam and he gets convicted for it, then it would be it wouldn't be it would I imagine it wouldn't be nice to experience it like that.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
your husband, people will say your husband did this or something.
Can you hear this, by the way?
Wish you the best of luck on it.
Thank
And
you.
I'm gonna play it. I'm not gonna show it. I'm just gonna play it and talk through it so it doesn't get noticed.
Yeah.
You know how Vlad does his things. He does
Yeah.
it like every
Yeah. Just
Well, I'm also well. Anyway, we know how I real recognize real. Let's do it that way. Anyway, so
No, man. You're having too much fun.
Hey, this fair use, by the way. So this is what I think in 2018, Vlad interviewed Jay, and at the end of the interview, Jay asked him the following.
You know, just run this completely
What you gonna put in on it,
transparently.
Vlad?
I mean, I'm not a real estate guy. I'm not putting
Vlad,
nothing
you
on
talked
it.
about REITs, Vlad. Your whole
Yeah, I don't own any. I don't own any
large
REITs.
parts African American.
Yeah.
What you gonna put in on it? You ain't got 500 on it, Vlad.
I don't have 500 on it. I don't have 500 on it.
Vlad.
Not even $500. Vlad was like, "This, I'm gonna put him on this platform, but I don't invest in people like this because he." Anyway, there is a way to figure out. You gotta figure out when you're an investor, you shouldn't invest willy-nilly in everything. That's you have to do your due diligence. Check the numbers. Check the person who you're investing in, because you're not investing in the vision. You're investing in the person to figure it out. If he has three roles in the fund, then you already know this is not going the right way. He doesn't have a structure.
Yeah. Well, Vlad is very adamant in stock in investing in stocks. Is very consistent in stocks. Stocks has that's what he says, right? He always says that stocks has brought him good returns, and he doesn't pretend to do anything else. And so it is what it is. Some people do it with Grant Cardone, for example, and Robert Kiyosaki. They do real estate and so on and so forth. Let's proceed.
Boyce Watkins. Boyce Watkins. You know what I want to say when you dash that name. I'm not going to go into it because we need to finish up this story real quick. So Boyce Watkins is one who's also involved in this because he was promoting this fund. He was one of the main guys who was pushing it forward. Great investment. This is the guy. This is the Messiah, or at least,
he was what some would call the DJ Envy of the situation.
The DJ Envy of the situation, the Tom Brady of FTX, the Giselle Bundchen. You gotta call it's the same. There's always someone who's endorsing it. Someone with some street rep, or at least some rep. This is what happened. By the way, Oshae Duke Jackson covered this very well as well. And this turned into a little bit of a mess. Let's take a look.
He also talked about in that video, well, I don't really do a whole lot of research on things after researching things. I don't have a lot of time, but Jay just needed more time and all of that. And there's the Black House. He's just making excuses, even though he did notice that something was wrong. Okay. So all these people in the comment section were talking about how Dr. Boyce Watkins is
to get 2024.
You got no free things over here. So what happened was
I wanted to try something different. The
Boyce was basically promoting it, and
making excuses.
It's back.
Yeah,
it's back up. Let me turn this back around again. Yes.
He's lame for that. He never apologized for any of this stuff, right? This is a few months ago. Now that the fund is currently going to be bankrupt, and on this video, so Dr. Boyce Watkins comments on the post, I am not affiliated with the Tulsa Fund in any way other than being one of the 15,000 investors in the project. You will be hearing from our attorneys. So now he's threatening to do some sort of lawsuit.
He's threatening to sue Oshae Duke Jackson, who's reporting on it, who has been slamming Dr. Boyce Watkins.
Yeah.
RJ, you've watched some of the videos I sent to you about this, so we don't have to play the full stuff during the show. Do you think Oshae's remarks about what has happened was maybe over the top? And then I'm gonna close this.
I don't think it's over the top because He really. So it's exactly like the Envy Caesar Pian situation. He was endorsing it seemingly. And so to say that you are so what the people will say is, hey, Boyce Watkins, you are a influential figure. A lot of people look up to you. A lot of people follow your advice. You advise people to invest into the funds, even if the funds aren't, even if you're not part of the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, even if you're not a board member, still you are you marketed the fund.
Yeah.
And so maybe you also invested in a fund and you are also a victim, but the fact that you're a victim doesn't exclude that you marketed the fund. So two things can be right at the same time. At the end of the day, if this becomes a battle in court, that will be what the judge will need to determine whether or not what Boyce Watkins did was, or at least can be considered, endorsing to such extent that he can be held liable for people who followed him into investing in the Tulsa real estate fund.
Well, let's see how that pans out. I do think that there is a responsibility, and then we talked about this during the FTX days when we basically discussed this a bit more extensively. And guys, go check out the previous shows about this. We talked about this aspect relating to FTX, where Tom Brady, Giselle Bündchen, and a bunch of other celebrities promoted the platform. Back then, I said that even as an endorser, you should do your due diligence to see whether the company you're endorsing is moving ethically. Two things. He's an investor as well, so you should do your due diligence as well. But if I have to believe Oshae, shout out to Oshae, by the way, fair use, a bit too late. We'll say it 2 minutes after we close the video. But he said that he didn't do a lot of research on this, which is kind of crazy because you're investing yourself. So not only as an investor, but you're endorsing it. You're endorsing someone who's ethically not moving the right way. I mean, I said it back then. They are also part responsible in the FTX. I'm saying right now again, you're partially as responsible for who you're endorsing. Just imagine you're at a double thought show, someone comes here and we do an interview with him. And it turns out the guy is a scammer, but he paid us $1,000 to get an interview.
Yeah.
I do.
Then payola, then you're done.
Then you're done. Then
You're
you're
done
part of
for.
the you're
You're
part
done
of
for.
the scam. I'm not saying that Boyce got any money. I'm not saying that, but you're still partially responsible for who you're putting up on your platform. You
I mean,
cannot endorse people and say, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, if he can ask Vlad casually like that whether or not he will invest, then he might have that might be his modus operandi. So yeah, KaiR, with that being said, I think we're done with this segment.
Yes, let's close it out. We're gonna go right into the short thoughts.
Short thought segment.
Yeah, so basically I'm changing Supermayor to a short thought segment.
Okay.
So yeah, so let's start right away. Let's close today's show with the usual short thought topics.
And yes, before we proceed with that, guys, remember to hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to our socials, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you stay up to date when we drop new videos.
Yes. So FBI subpoenas Tiffany Henyard.
So what?
Subpoena.
But what is it in plural? Pause.
All right, man. Come on, come on, man. Come on, man. Give me a
You just-
break. Trust me.
I'm just so.
Hey, man. Let's.
I'm just being a
anyway.
bit silly. I'm just being a bit silly.
Yeah, I know you're being silly. So basically, they are looking into the corruption accusations. Something we started saying is from the beginning when we start covering Tiffany and her gang.
Gang.
Yes, well, gang, they're gonna lock up the whole gang now. We start saying it. FBI's are watching. The feds are watching. The feds always watch. They let you cook until you burn down the kitchen, and she's burning down the kitchen right now.
Yeah.
A couple of affiliates of her are being indicted right now for corruption. There is this guy who is currently I think he's being accused of money laundering. I think it's something you gotta ask yourself, dude, why would you do this? I think he was getting some salary from one state or another county or something like that, and he was only reporting one of his income. The other one he wasn't reporting. So instead of, let's say, reporting that you're making 200,000 a year, he's reporting 100,000 a year. So that's not very smart, because I mean people find out real easily. This is like trying to steal. This is low class stealing. This is pickpocketing kind of level. This is like the level of brain these people have. Anyway, RJ.
Yeah, there are like tax codes, right? And tax agreements between various jurisdictions that they share these informations, not only internal, so like countries internally in different states, but also so between countries, between continents. So it's always like the short-term thinking, like, hey, if I don't do it, if I don't report it, then they won't know. As if I mean, we're far beyond. This is 2024. If people can walk around with goggles doing tiny type of weird things, then they can share tax information. So it's very petty, very, dare I say, dumb way to go out.
It is. And again, I'll say this. Oshae has also been covering this. There are some parts of this topic we wanted to cover it a bit more, but we don't have enough time. Maybe we'll cover it next show. Not this show, but next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy, and I think her time is coming. It's just a matter of time, and they're building the case right now, and we'll see, man. We'll see. It's all I'll say is doesn't look very good for her. Also, looking at the other allegations she's having about sleeping with the married entrepreneur and all that other stuff.
Wait. I think I blacked out for a minute. I thought we were talking about Tiffany Henyard.
Yes,
Or you're talking about Fannie Willis.
No, they are the same people. No,
Oh, okay.
it's the same. It's the same stuff. It's the same. What the difference is the entrepreneur is getting a good deal. And apparently, he's clapping the cheeks right.
I don't want to ask you how you know this, man.
I don't know this. That's what I heard. Because the deal structure is pretty good for him. He doesn't pay. So for one of his businesses, he doesn't have to pay taxes. because it's labeled as a non-profit organization. You know what kind of business it is?
A church.
No, it's a car wash.
Yo,
That's
yo,
alleged, according to Oshae.
yo,
Yeah,
yo.
crazy. It's crazy. What are we doing over here? What are we doing?
Well,
over here?
technically speaking, you can have a non-profit car wash. I would guess that the management fees are very high, though.
Yeah, this is crazy. Yeah. But let's continue with the next topic. The next topic in our short thoughts. Wild moment. Passenger attacks driver on a moving bus. I'm
What?
gonna play it real quick.
Mhm.
I'm gonna play it real quick. Let me do this. Go here. Yes. Now I have to time it correctly because I have to time it when they start brawling a bit, so it doesn't get flagged by YouTube. But this is the situation. The guy starts swinging at and then they basically continue to swing, and then not only that, don't only continue to brawl. Can't show the whole thing, but you can see it. They are still brawling. And here they are again. And guess what?
It crashed. It had to, of course.
So this is the level of you're dealing out here with people that have no sense. No sense.
Of danger, of their lives.
Their own lives. Bro, you cannot start swinging on the bus driver. And you're standing next to him. If you crash, you both. Yo,
Yeah.
this is when you're dealing with emotional people. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
What are the
I
odds?
I think the I think she was probably thinking.
Gee,
I think he was probably thinking that the bus driver wouldn't start swinging because the driver need to because the driver need to conduct. So he probably thought I got some free swing. I can get some free swings in.
yeah. Well, yeah. They're lucky. They're lucky that the way they crashed wasn't into a bunch of people in the store. or
That's true. I
something.
didn't even think like I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
You
you're
gotta-
right.
You gotta think further than. This is
People
why
always escalate things. You need to de-escalate it.
You know. I showed you. We talked about this earlier about my running into the guy in the subway,
Yeah,
where I
we did, yeah.
basically almost I had
Start
to
just
basically think myself out of the situation before it escalated. I showed you
I
also
know.
a video about the guy that had the same situation in January and how that
Yeah.
turned out.
Yeah.
He's being locked up now. No one is thinking ahead. Everyone is thinking in the moment.
Yeah. As always, yeah. I remember KR, and then this is my last comment, and then we can move to the next topic if you want to. But I remember I was at a party, and like a couple of girls, couple of guys talking, and the women. So the question came up: would you fight for your woman? And of course, all men said, it all depends. And a woman there started saying, oh, you were there. I remember you were there.
Was I there?
Yeah, you were there.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
I'll tell you how I know you were there. Because-
Yo, I tell you what, the wow, yo, it's gonna be. I already know he's gonna set me up. Continue.
because the girl was one of the girls at least started.
Oh, I don't even know why.
One of the girls started saying a real man would do it. A real man would do it, and I always said, and for example, my stance was, it depends on the situation. It depends on where you are. and if you're, for example, at a club, a lot of drunk people, someone someone touches your girl, you turn around, it's just 1 versus 5. You can see these people are, they can carry. At that point, your responsibility is safety. You need to get the your woman and yourself out of harm's way first, because the guy obviously saw you there with a woman and decided that it was a good idea to do it anyway. That means he also considered what might happen and made a decision to go through with it,
To disrespect you.
to disrespect you as the man. So
Mhm.
at that point, are you going to turn? So I was trying to explain this to the woman, because sometimes they swing. I mean, KR, they swing on the man and the woman in a
Yeah.
situation like that.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to explain that just to give a nuanced view.
Mhm.
And the girl was like, nah, a real man would, a real man would, a real man would, a real man would. And then you commented by saying, you know what's funny? It's always no, I think you said, why are you with a woman? Why are you as a man with a woman like that in the first place? It's always bum ninjas that have babies with bum bees and make bum kids.
I knew it. I knew you were gonna go. Now you just use the normal word, bum man,
Yeah, bum man, bum
hook up with
woman.
bum woman, and then they form a bum family with a bum kid.
They get bum kid, and then that kid, yeah. Oh man, that was a legendary night, man. Let me tell she got pissed after that.
She got
But
pissed, yes, but but by the way, you gotta be very specific. Was it before or after the whole Kevin Samuels stuff?
that was way before, man. That was
Way
way
before.
way before.
People don't start
That was
saying
way
I'm
before.
copying.
Yeah,
I
that
had
was way before. That was
I
way
was
before.
Kevin before Kevin, my nigga.
Yeah, well, yeah. Just don't drop out. Just don't check out on us, man.
Hey, I don't drink as much Red Bull, man.
No, man. That's a legend who went out too soon. Way too soon, man.
Yeah, that was a crazy night. But I do remember it. I do remember. Yeah, that was a. It is what it is. I have my own opinion of this kind of stuff. I think people put themselves into harm's way. I think that's what I said also beginning of the show. People see red flags but don't walk right through it.
Yeah.
I don't walk through red flags, man. If I see a communist, I'm gonna turn the other way.
Yo, guys, let me tell you guys something.
Oh man.
KR is the opposite, man. I'm gonna talk. Allow me to talk to the people now.
Okay, go.
KR is the opposite. If KR's walking down the street and he sees a flag in the far distance, and he's not quite sure whether it's red or yellow, best be sure that he's not gonna wait to find out.
I'm not gonna wait to find out, man. I'm not gonna invest. I'm not gonna fall in the sunk cost fallacy, man.
Yeah.
And by the way, if I already invested, it is what it is,
It
man.
is what it is.
It is what
Hey,
it is. I'm not gonna continue to try to get some ROI.
KR, that's my philosophy, man. I see that in my practice day in day out, and I can understand it because you put so much time and effort into things. But is it really worth it? And a lot of times people are afraid to walk away from $500 to someone owns you, $1,000, $10,000. I mean, if you have a great legal position and you can it's worth it for you to do it, and it's not gonna take away too much time and energy from you, but then you can consider it. Oh Jesus. But oh my God, I wish I didn't see it. Let me just finish this thought. Let me just finish that. But some people are so I always say tied to the past that they forget about the future. Anyway, let's go through
That's
this. Open. Man.
that's a great way to close it.
Yeah.
I
Now
would have
you're
said
gonna
it
open
differently, but
something else.
I'm not gonna rain on your parade. That was a nice closing. I would say something differently, but you're always the positive of us both.
Yeah, I
And
try
that's
to be
what I
the
like
best.
from you.
I
Huh?
try to be the best of us, and I
Yes,
usually am.
Someone has to be the bad cop. Someone has
Someone needs
someone
to
has
go.
to break the fingers in order to get the answers. And that's
Someone
not
needs
I will be able to do that. I'm willing to do that.
someone needs to put a good word for us when we die. God, I know, but please let him up, man. I swear to you. I swear he's good. He's cool, man.
It's cool, man.
Not
He
right
sell
now.
no-
Right now
he-
he's
he-
blazing, but he's
but
cool, man.
no, hey Jesus, man, he didn't sell no drugs to his own daddy. He didn't sell drugs to his own papa, man. He didn't scam. He didn't scam 12 millions out of people's pockets.
Allegedly. Word on the street is that he'll pay them back. He has like a payment arrangement.
Hey, I'm not laughing at the victims, bro. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. Let's go to the next topic. Heavily tattooed woman, TikToker rejected by TJ Maxx for a job. And if you're asking yourself, how heavily tattooed is she?
Wait. TJ Maxx is a clothing store, right?
Yes.
Okay. So she's too tatted for a clothing store. I would think like a corporate job, but okay. Let's see.
I think she's tatted. She's too tatted to be fresh. Hey, she's too tatted for anything in life. Let's take a look real quick. This is her.
Okay.
This is her. Is she too tatted for a job? She was slamming TJ Maxx on TikTok. Allegedly, according to this, I haven't found any links to it, by the way. According to the article, she's also an OF star, but I'm not sure. So I don't. That's why I put TikToker, because that I could confirm. Not that I would have bought her TikTok. I'm just saying, I'm not into this kind of.
Or OF, you mean your OF?
This is not. Huh?
You said not that you would have purchased her TikTok, but you meant OF. The subscription.
TikTok. I won't buy no OF because this is not even a red flag. This is like blood on the streets at this moment.
Well, so to me, it's not. Well, this is what I believe. So I believe that people can do whatever they want and people can believe whatever they want. So
Yes.
that's start by saying that. I would just say it's not the tattoos that are an issue for me, but what is tattooed. And you need to remember, yeah, I mean, you need to remember that TJ Maxx, I mean, it's a clothing store. Everyone comes in.
You're representing them.
You're representing them. Yeah. And now you're walking around with tattoos of demons. I mean, KaiR, come on, man. You can brand yourself as a family store. So you understand what I'm saying? There are consequences for everything. Now, do I think that there are stores where she can work at? Of course. There are plenty of alternative stores. But you can't I mean, you don't fit the brand.
No.
It's not the tattoos that are the problem. I don't think that the tattoos are the problem. I don't think that, or at least the amount of tattoos are the problem. I believe it's what is tattooed that is the problem.
So 2 things. I do agree with you on that. First of all, facial tattoos are definitely, when you're doing customer work face-to-face, facial tattoos are already done. Maybe you can do some call center stuff, but forget about face-to-face communication with customers. The type of tattoos, I also do agree with you on that. I think she can work on any other company where tattoos, maybe a tattoo shop, or maybe a company that sell BDSM stuff, or anything.
Wow.
anything that's not that's it. That's a niche. Let's put it that way. So if you're selling masks or gothic stuff, that's where also you can work. But TJ Maxx is a mainstream company.
Yeah.
So mainstream brand.
And
You
it's, I
cannot
mean, yeah,
show
you
up
can,
like that.
no, and you can agree or disagree. I mean, whether you like it or not, whether we like it or not, there are rules and there are standards. So, for example, imagine a nudist comes there and then says, "Oh, they're discriminating against me because I'm a nudist." It doesn't. That's not the point, right? The brand stands for something,
Yep.
and yeah, I mean, and again, I don't believe it's. I mean, the face tattoo you can say yes, maybe that's it, but I also think what is tattooed. I didn't see her whole body, but from between her neck to her décolletage, I think it's called, there are two demons. That's not
Yep.
gonna work.
That ain't gonna work, man. Good luck to her. Maybe she will have to start OnlyFans after this.
Maybe she already
No.
does. Has.
Yeah, I
I thought you said
probably.
she has, or there's
The
you
article-
there.
the
The article is saying, but you haven't confirmed it.
couldn't confirm it. I went to search for it.
We don't have the fund to do investigative research like that. It's all in the Tulsa real estate fund. Unfortunately,
Yo, it's tied up. It's tied up.
we have a payment arrangement, man. We're gonna get
It's in a foreign account.
yeah.
It's in a
Our
foreign account.
granddaughters,
I can't read it.
our grandchildren will get it when they're
By blood. Hey,
man,
hey, yo, let's wrap this up, man. Let's
wrap up
this
today's show, guys. Thank you. If you're still here, if you reach the end of the show, remember, guys, whatever your thoughts are, let us know in the comment section below. Rate the show by pressing the like button, share the video with your friends, your family, and your enemies, and don't forget to subscribe and let us know your thoughts and opinions on the topics we discussed today. As we always say, let's have a healthy conversation in the comment section, and we'll see each other in the next one. Till next time.
Peace.
Peace.
Come with me. Hell,
Hey,
baby.
baby.
Morrison ain't longer free.
La
Lock
la
up.
la 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 lock him up.
Yo. Hey, peace out.